see the vehicle there. That's law enforcement pulling up in the pickup.
And it is the Honda Pilot that we should be focused on here. It's about a purplish, reddish color here. So let's take a look.
Agent walking up. And then there's another agent. I don't know if you can see that one right there.
Yeah, three agents involved. One was kind of closer to the front of the
training, and I've received field training. And that's a good point, because I want to know what their training is. You have how to operate an emergency vehicle, actually how to make a traffic stop, how to approach, where you approach, what to do. What is their training? And then in addition, you got to know what is their policy. You know, it's like, why would you stand in front of, you know, a motor vehicle can be a deadly weapon. Why would you stand in front of a deadly weapon in an intense situation? You know, we talked about concealment and cover. Why would you leave yourself in a vulnerable position? Now, unless you step in the path of the vehicle and now you're preempting deadly force, which a lot of people do. So now here I am in a safe place. I move into a deadly place. And now it's like I'm challenging you. I dare you to move the vehicle. Because if you move the vehicle, I will shoot you. We were never taught that way. We were always taught, I'm coming to work and I'm going home the same way. I'm not going to put myself in no vulnerable position, and neither I'm going to put my fellow officers in a position to where, you know, deadly force is the thing that's the last resort. Right. Hey, you know what? You step out the way, let the lady drive off. End of story.
Right. Hey, let me tell you guys something. Hold on, Shane, real quick, right?
Yes, sir.
And I didn't even know this until we start speaking to the OG, right? And for my audience, right? Listen, this is some really valuable information. Ted, explain their authority. If she's parked in the middle of the street, do an ICE agent, a federal agent, have the right to actually enforce any type of traffic laws? You explain this. I couldn't even believe it.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You're not a street law enforcement agency. You're not a local police department. You're a federal law enforcement agency, and you have specific immigration laws that you enforce. It has nothing to do with local policing at all. It's like, as a DEA agent, we just do drugs. We don't do kidnappings. We just do drugs, unless it's connected with a drug case. Okay, so technically speaking, I can't write somebody a ticket for parking in the middle of the street because I'm not a local cop. Okay, so essentially, like I said before, because his path was not completely blocked, he had no reason to get out of the truck. They created that situation themselves. It was a self-inflicted wound. All they had to do was go around the woman and keep on rolling.
Correct.
Now, had she pulled a gun, that's different.
Right. And if she had pulled a gun too, Ted, guys, we all been through pit training, precision, we all been through that. The way you can situate the cars, you can lock her in, so she have to go nowhere. You don't have to use a deadly weapon at all.
Right.
There's so many street techniques that we've been trained on that was never used. He parked his car in front and walked out his car and walked in front of that car. Who does that?
Nobody does that.
Who does that?
No.
He was the instigator.
I'm sorry, go ahead, Ted.
He was the instigator.
Correct.
He initiated the threat himself. He didn't do it.
Right.
Correct.
Hey, Ted, there's another factor that you brought up, right? That when you start talking about the legality of actual stop, that's not even there, right?
Right. 100% right. 100% not. There's no reason for him to confront her, none whatsoever.
Correct.
He initiated.
And what about the training? How much training does these guys have to be on the street doing this type of enforcement?
Normally, like I said, they get 6 weeks of training at Flexi, and then 6 weeks at the individual agencies. Now, he's had some time on the job. He's probably gotten some additional training. What that training would be, I doubt very seriously if it involved traffic stops. I doubt very seriously if it involved, how to handle a situation involving somebody who's broken down in the middle of the street. But realistically, let's just be serious here. This is a self-inflicted wound. This woman is a victim of circumstance that was created by ICE. She was just there as an observer, okay? And for them to go out of their way to confront her and then take her life, that's extreme. I don't care how you look at it. It's extreme. And that's the part that's got to be remedied. Regardless, The smartest thing for them to do right now is like the mayor and the governor said, get the hell out of Minnesota.
You're
Because
right.
there's nothing good is going to happen from this time forward. Nothing good. They're going to be as disruptive as they can be to those folks. They're going to sit in front of that facility, and every time cars come out, they try to block them. And you know what? This is what's called direct action. This is when you try to sit. You have to figure out a way to get folks back to the negotiating table. The thing is this: they never came to the negotiating table. They've always come in strong arming and pushing folks around. And much like they did in the civil rights movement, just fill up the jails. Just go on and sit down in the middle of the street when they come out and let them haul you off until you fill all the jails up, and maybe they'll get the message. But that's what it takes is a personal commitment to say, enough is enough. We're not going to have this in our society. Bring everybody. And when you think about the civil rights movement, the big event was in Birmingham, and it didn't change until the kids came out and went to jail. The kids came out, went to church, got trained, went out and went to jail. They filled the jails up, and that's when they finally said enough's enough. When the deputies decided, okay, I'm not locking these kids up. I'm not doing this. Okay, when the ICE agents decide that they're not going to do this anymore, that's when things will change. They themselves have to realize what they're doing is wrong. But right now, they're minions of Trump. They're minions, and they're doing whatever they tell them to do. And I'm here to tell you something. There's some things I'm not going to do. I told the badge and a gun. There's some things I'm just not going to do. You tell me to do something that I know is a violation of not just my moral rights, but human rights. I'm not doing it. I'm just not doing it.
Joe, let me ask you a question. Since you handle a lot of cases where the officer involved shootings, you was representing the police union. What advice would you give this clown if this guy came before you and you saw what happened?
You know what I would do? I'm vice president of a police union. I represent a lot of cops. I would tell the president of the union, right? I'm not representing this dude.
I figured you were gonna say that.
I have done that before. I was like, this dude needs to be off the job. I know we're supposed to rep them. I'm definitely not repping this dude. Like I wouldn't touch this. I'd be like, listen, I can't do that. Like this is just crazy. And so what I don't understand what Craig Long is saying. So you're advocating for police, for people to disobey the law? Like I don't even.
There is no law.
There was no law. It was an unconstitutional stop, sir.
You have the First Amendment right of protest. They can protest anywhere they want. Yes, sit down in the middle of the street and block their entrance, okay? If you got to get their attention. But you know what? The thing, more folks are going to die. These people are out of control, and nobody cares. Nobody cares.
And for official Craig Long, I'm going to say this. We've always, at police brutality, and Joe has been saying this for a long time, don't take your fight to the street. Always take it to the court. So always try to comply. It's not about disobeying anything. But this act right here was egregious. You have 4 law enforcement officers, and between us, we got over 100 years of experience, certified, documented experience. And we're telling you that this was incorrect. Everything about this was wrong. We got a federal agent with 30, 40 years on experience. We got Joe, another 20 years. We got Tony, another 25 years. You got myself with 20 plus years. Over 100 years experience. We're all telling you that this was egregious and this was wrong. We have no reason to protect what right is right and what's wrong is wrong. And this here, my friend, was completely wrong.
100%. 100%. And there's no training that you can refer to or reference to say, oh, look, it was a part of the training. All training tells you, do not stand in front of vehicles. Do not. She was parked. She was parked in the middle of the street. So it's not like she was driving and he ended up in front of the vehicle. He put himself into the front left quarter panel, and it wasn't even directly in front. So,
Correct.
So move out the way.
Correct.
Right.
And let me read this again for our audience here, guys. U.S. federal law, specifically is 8 U.S.C. Section 1357. It says this. I just missed it here. Hold on a second, guys. Hold on. ICE agents may only stop a vehicle if they have reasonable suspicion based on specific articulable facts that at least one occupant lacks lawful immigration status or is involved in a federal criminal violation. It does not fit that guideline. This is from, again, 8 U.S.C. Section 1357 on the federal law for ICE officers. He violated the law just based on what's written here, guys.
his own policy, his own
policy.
procedure, right? His own policy and procedure.
Thank you.
He was incorrect. His actions
Anyone can look this up for themselves.
With his policy and procedure.